What? Everything? Oh. I was wondering why everything was so dark. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing this morning? I just got back in the house again. I finally took the paper back, which I was supposed to have been doing yesterday. I took it back to my office this morning because once I came back in the house yesterday, I didn't feel like going back out. And so I returned it this morning. And hopefully I get the situation resolved because this carpet has had better days. I mean, 12 years. That's how long I've been here. And they don't clean the carpet for you. They want you to clean the carpet. And then I've got spots in the carpet that, they're starting to come, what do you call it, unravel or something like that. They're starting to unravel. And, of course, there's a lot of spots on here that can't be cleaned, period. I don't even believe a professional could clean them. And my respiratory problem. Matter of fact, I'm having a respiratory problem situation right here this morning. I've been moaning this morning, y'all. And I had, you know what? I was watching something on television. I'm looking for my lip gloss, y'all. I thought I do have some on. This stuff don't show up enough for me. But anyway, I was looking at television. They were saying like these horrible, terrible sounds were coming from Jerusalem. Now, I don't know what to believe, y'all. I really don't. But they did sound eerie, because they let you hear it. Whoever was telling the story, I forgot what the name of the thing was on YouTube, but they can do anything, I know, to make the sounds and everything like that. But people over there, they're claiming that people are leaving Jerusalem because of the eerie sound, and it really did sound eerie. It sounded Halloweenish. You know what I mean? Like something that you would hear in Halloween H2O movie, Halloween, and what's that other one? Freddy Krueger. Woo, remember those days? Oh my goodness. Horrible, horrible, horrible. And then some people proclaim to have seen Jesus Christ and his angels and stuff. I said, what? That's the first time I had heard something similar to that before, that people were hearing these sounds. Now me, I always hear something in my ear over here. Oh yeah, there's something buzzing over here. But to me, it sounds like, now I don't hear it in this one because I've tried it. I've tried to cover this ear and see if I can hear it over here. No, I can't hear it over here. But I can hear it in this ear right here. I can hear this. It sounds almost like a motor of a car running. That's the best way I can describe it. But this has been going on for, quite some time. See, yeah, I hear it now. It's like some people call it a ringing in the ears and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's mighty weird, y'all. I tell you nothing but the truth. And I remember saying I saw Jesus Christ when I was 12 years old. Y'all remember that video. But then, I started people can make you have doubt because they say that dreams sometimes seem so real. But to this very day, I tell you the truth, I sort of got a little skeptical and a little, maybe I didn't see it. But then I definitely saw an apparition. There's no doubt about it. I saw it in my bedroom. And I can tell the story again. I mean, I was acting very ugly that night. I was 12 years old. And I was acting very ugly. And they were having like a social at the school. And my mother wouldn't let me go. I'm 12. She wouldn't let me go. And I just cried and cried and cried, because I thought all my friends was going to be there. And, here I am. I can't go. I wanted to go so bad, I mean, I really cried. And I cried for a very, very long time. And that same night, when I went to bed, I woke up and there was this I still say it was Jesus Christ. It was brilliant. The white, it was so brilliant that nothing that you would see like here on earth. Now you know when you're down south, it gets pitch black at night, especially if you're in the country. And the only thing that you could see is like maybe a moon or something shining through peeping through the curtains or the blinds or whatever, or something like that. But other than that, when you go to bed, you can't even really see the hand in front of your face is so dark. Matter of fact, I always say how beautiful the sky is at night down south, because it's like different from the city, because the city doesn't show the true light. Down south it's like a planetarium almost. The sky, you could see the sparkling uh, stars in the sky, and sometimes we would see the constellation, the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper would show up. And I don't see that. I ain't see no kind of dipper or nothing up here, no constellations. I don't know where the bear and all that stuff show up at, but down south we would I was in North Carolina, and we could see like the Big Dipper. This is an ordinary thing to us. It's no big deal. You ain't see nobody going out there with a telescope trying to see this Big Dipper and the Little Dipper. But like I was saying, it gets very dark. And this figure that showed up in my room did not say nothing. But we had like a little bookshelf that was like in a hallway. My mother had a bookshelf, and there was a child Bible there in that bookshelf. And he had that Bible in his hand. He had it right on the side in his hand. But the strange thing is, I didn't see the face. I somehow or another, I just knew it was Jesus Christ. And I can't remember the face. I can't remember nationality, color, nothing like that. Black nor white, anything like that. And it was like, oh, you could see as plain as day in the middle of the night, dark night down in North Carolina. He didn't say anything. He just had that Bible. And I got so scared. I remember my heart going pounding, 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 pounding. And my heart been pounding ever since, I guess, because that's what I have, heart palpitations. But anyway, I remember, I was sleeping with my sister. Me and my sister used to sleep in the same bed. It was a, full-size bed. We didn't have the twin beds, the bunk beds, and all this blah, blah, back there in 60, 58, 60, or something like that. I don't know, however old I was. I think it was 1958. And we didn't have all that stuff. And so you slept together, sort of. As a matter of fact, it was a means of warmth. You could get the heat from your sister and vice versa. We all slept together. At one point, all 5 of us slept in the same bed. 3 brothers and 2 sisters. We all slept in one bed. And that was when we was living with my grandmother for a while. My mother had came up north, her and my dad had split and all this kind of stuff. So we were staying with my dad's, she was the lady that raised him, but he wasn't her biological child. They sort of like adopted him, their mother just gave him away. My dad, that's sad, isn't it? Just give your child away like that. But anyway, we ain't talking about that right now, y'all. And we all used to sleep in the same bed. So, there was nothing unusual about that situation. But when I got through my heart, I was sleeping like on the back side of the bed, the part that's near the wall part. And my sister was sleeping on the outside. And the apparition was standing there by the bed. And that's when I had looked up and saw it. But then my heart started beating because I got scared, middle of the night. And then I laid my head, I got back under the cover. I don't know why I didn't wake my sister up, because I was terrified. But I told her about it. I think I told her about it, my mother. And I told her that, the Bible that we had, the child's Bible that we had was red. And my mother, I remember her saying, well, I don't think Jesus would show you anything that's red. But why would she say that? And the Bible that we had, the cover of that Bible was red. It's a child's Bible. But anyway, we ain't going in that, y'all. I don't know why that came up, but, just because of that situation that I was watching about Jerusalem, this eerie, oh man, if I heard something like that, and I'm living by myself, too, no, say it ain't so. I would have to stay up all night and sleep all day. Ooh, it's about that time of the year, y'all. Some crazy stuff be going on. That's why I do not celebrate no Halloween. Now, when my children was young, very young, we would take them, let them go trick-or-treating. But then after a while, people started putting razor blades and apples and stick pins and stuff in apples and different kind of stuff in candy, especially loose candy. And would tell my children, don't eat anything, until you get home. Don't, they probably did, but I would tell them, do not. And, even me, when I would buy candy for the children, I would make sure that the candy was packaged. You know what I mean? And, a lot of children were sick. They got cut, from razor blades being in apple. Some people are really cruel like that. And there are some people out there who just don't like children, period. They do not like children. And I think what they're forgetting is that once upon a time, they were children as well. But it got into the place, it was getting so bad. I think the child actually passed away from drinking or eating something. I don't know if it was a white powder or they got very sick. It was something related to the thing, the trick-or-treating. Trick-or-treating, going house to house and whatnot. And somebody had given them some kind of stuff. And the child got sick. I don't know if the child got sick or the child died. I don't know which one it was. It's sort of like, you remember that Tylenol scare when Tylenol used to have the capsules with the powder in them? And all these people had died, that somebody had tampered with it. That's why they got the tamper-proof packaging today. It's because of that. Now, not very long ago, I had bought a carton of milk. And the piece that covers the thing that you pull open to open the carton with, that's inside the carton, that is closed, it's sealed closed. And then you take this little ring and pull it up. I had a milk carton that was missing on one time. That's since not that long ago. And people start tampering with the food. And I remember this lady saying that one time that she had went to the grocery store and how her significant other had just opened up a jar of pickles and reached in the pickles and got him some pickles out of it with his hand in the pickles. And then sealed it back up. But I always listen for that pop. Listen for the pop, y'all. Listen to it. Pop. And just like bottled water, I'm getting suspicious about that with all these wars and stuff that's going on. We got to be very careful about what is going on and what we put in our stomach these days. It's not easy to recognize it because people are getting so shrewd. I don't know if you call it shrewd. It's got to be a word worse than shrewd. They're getting so terrible. It's almost like they've sold their, you've heard of people selling their souls to get up in for coming up in life. Like they say, a lot of movie stars and pop singers and rock stars and all that. They say they've sold their soul to get the status where they are. And so there's a lot of sinister, I cannot talk. Give me some teeth. I got some teeth, but I can't wear them. But sinister things that are going on, unusual stuff that's going on in the world today that, I don't recall having when we were children. When I was children, you didn't hear about shooting in school. What? I never heard nothing like that when I was like coming up in school. I started the school in 1952. I was 6 years old in 1952. And back there, you didn't have no kindergarten. I gotta take my sneakers off, y'all. Because these socks is not the shoes, because I done stretched those beyond stretch. I want another pair of these jokers. These are Skechers. And I don't know how old these shoes are. Maybe 10 years old? I don't know. But anyway, these are about the only ones I can wear now, because my feet's still swollen. They seem to went down a little bit, though. But, like I said, back there in the day, we didn't have all that stuff like that. You would hear kids fighting. I had some fights in school, too. I had fights. Kids would fight, but ain't nobody brought no knife to kill you or gun to shoot you and shoot your whole classroom and shoot your teacher and all that. There's something like here on this earth that's not right now. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. But that's what I would say, back in the day were the best days. And I would tell anyone right now that the way we were raised down south was the best way to raise a child. Because people today, they don't raise their children. The children go to school and they get in trouble and the teacher gets, punish them or something like that. They can't. The parent gets mad, go to school, cuss the teacher out. And it's a terrible shame now because it takes a village. And I remember we had to have devotion every single morning before we started school. I think I may have told you this before. We would have to sing a song, and then we had to remember a Bible verse. We took this thing seriously. And usually, most of us went to church on Sunday. Yes, we did. But then after a while, you get a little older, you get a little teenager in you, you decide, hey, I ain't going in. And that's where we had got just before we came up north, me and my sister. My mother didn't make the boys go to church like she did us. Them girls, you got to protect them girls. So them girls bring home the little bambinos. You know what I mean. But the boys went to church too when they were younger. But then, after they got older, they didn't, my mother didn't enforce it, on them. But she, we still had to go to church regardless. And we wouldn't go inside, but we would be out there trying to talk to the boys, This is just before we came up north. But today, I'll tell you, things are way different. And, and like the teacher, don't let that teacher tell your mother something you done. A teacher whoop your butt too, hit you in the hand with a ruler. Oh, God, that hurt. I feel that sting. That's a sting beyond stings. But when your mama get a hold of your behind, she used to get a switch. And then she make you go outside and get this switch. And you better not bring no little bitty switch. You better bring a sort of normal size, switch so she can whoop your behind with it. Oh, Lord. It's crazy. It's capital punishment, whatever you want to call it. But you know what? Like the Bible said, bend the sap while it's young. Don't wait till your child get old and think that you're going to, suddenly tell them something because you didn't tell them when they were young. The children run the house today. Oh, yeah. Not the parent. It's the children. And we, the parents, I'm one as well. Let the children try to give them everything they want. Spirit of rod and spoil the child, y'all. See, because that you tell your child to go to the room years ago, oh, they would cry because they didn't want to go to their room. There was nothing there. They didn't even have a radio. They didn't have no, let alone a TV in a child's room. My kids didn't have no TV in their room. You know, back in the day, you didn't even have a freaking computer. I think computers came, well, they had the Atari. Later on, way back in, I think it was about 1970 something. It was in the 70s, maybe 75 or something like that. Or 73, I don't know. It was back there in the 70s. I did get them an Atari, but it had to be hooked up to the television. And it was hooked up to the television where? Up there in where mom could see what you are doing. Not while you in your room with the door closed. What are you doing in that room anyway? And then some kids got the nerve to put signs on the door, do not disturb. Teenagers are a mess, but I mean, you look back on it in the day, you know, and things that we did when we were children, we felt that they were, you know, it was terrible to the adults, you know, that came before us, you know, like to our mothers. They were probably, excuse me, I had to let that Brazil go. It was too much. And, you know, according to the way they were brought up. See, because my mother, when she was brought up, they didn't even have television. They would listen to Amos and Andy on the radio and little stuff. Everybody gathered around the radio. And they would listen to the boxing. You know, this is what they told me, you know, told us. And seems like to me, I do remember some of that. But we got our first television, I think, in 1950. It was either 51 or 52. And the little TV was that. It was like that. But the console part was like this. This is how big the TV used to be back in the day. And now look how thin they are. You can hang that sucker up on the wall. But these big jokers we had, you couldn't hang that one on the wall. Your whole wall would fall down. And you ain't going to be moving around all kind of fashion either. And the screen, this is no exaggeration, y'all. It had to be like a 3 or 5-inch screen. Matter of fact, I have a little tiny portable TV like that I had gotten years ago from, it was either KFC, not KFC. I got my mind on food. I don't think so, y'all. Because I ain't been too long had breakfast. But anyway, I bought a little tiny TV. I could show it to you one day. I don't know if I might have shown it already. And it run by batteries. It's, you know, it's battery operated. I don't know if it still works or not. It's in my room. It's in my drawer. And that was about the size of the screen to our TV. And, you know, this is all we knew. We loved to watch that TV. Goofy and Willie and Grandma of the Jungle or something like that. I don't know, some stuff that we used to watch back in the day, you know, when I was young. And people used to come to our house and peer at our TV like this, like it was so little they couldn't see it. But we was happy we had a TV. But just imagine yourself right now that you didn't have a TV or a computer or a phone for that matter. You had none of that. Just suppose that's what you had to live with. What would you do? What would you do if you didn't have that darn TV and that darn phone and that dang computer? Did I say computer? Whatever you got in your house electronically. What would you and your children do? Do you think you would play board games? Monopoly? Easy Money? The Game of Life? Othello? I ain't never learned how to play Othello, even though I bought it for my daughter. I don't think she ever learned how to play it either. That thing got thrown away, I think. I don't think she ever actually used it. But I used to have a lot of board games. I used to have Monopoly was the best one of all, the Monopoly. But they would argue so much, you know. And so I couldn't play with my children, but to have an adult, you know, a bunch of adults play it together, that was a lot of fun. They argue too sometimes, so. But what would you do if you didn't have it? Think about it, y'all. I remember there was I think it was a television show that came that you would have to get rid of your TV and your phone and electronics or something like that for a week. I think a lot of people be very irritable because I went without my computer. Everything was down. I don't know why. I forgot what the situation was, but I think way back when I first started doing a video, I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Even when I moved here, I didn't have my cable wasn't hooked up. I didn't have it, hooked up ahead of time because I didn't know I was going to move, the next day. But the thing is, I had a DVD player. Matter of fact, I think I showed you a little TV that used to be my mom's. And I had, wait a minute, yeah. Did I have that? I don't know, because my mom was alive when I first moved here. But I had something. I still got a DVD player over there somewhere. It's probably dust is on it about that thick now. I haven't even looked at it. My daughter gave it to me years ago when I was in my old apartment. That thing must be about 14, 15, might be older than that, years old. I don't know if it still plays. But just think about that. How did you make it without your iPhone? Oh my goodness. You can't even walk the street. People can't, honest to goodness, this is honest goodness true. When I'm on my scooter, I really have to be careful because the people are doing this right here, they're in their phone, but they're walking. And they're not looking where they're going. But being that I'm driving on the sidewalk, I don't drive in the street, of course not. Because my scooter's not that fast. My scooter only goes 5 miles an hour, y'all. 5 miles an hour. But at certain parts of the sidewalk, I gotta get off this phone, y'all, because I'm just been jabbering about a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of the third. But it's all true. It's all facts. I'm sticking to the story, y'all. It's facts, all facts. And they're doing this. Some of them have a rhythm. Now, what would you do if you didn't have that? Everybody's walking around with their phone in their hand, expecting what? Somebody to call you? I ain't expecting nobody to call me. Sometimes I go a couple of days without any calls. It doesn't bother me at all. But it would bother me if I didn't have it. The other phone must have heard me. Where is it? Where the heck is it? I don't know what. Oh, I'm talking on. I guess got a notification sound. You heard that sound, right? And I'm up there looking around for the John Brown phone, and I am recording on that phone, okay? Because I got this one. I'm demonstrating to you with this one. What would I do without my phones? Not only one phone, I got this phone too. And not only that, I got the old girl over there. She's waiting for me to say something to her, but I ain't just ignore her today. And she can make a phone call for you. Yeah. She can actually call someone if I have an emergency. And that's, to me, that's a good thing. It's like the next thing, because I'm about to get ready to get off this video, y'all, because I know I'm yakking and just jacking. After a while, my mouth is going to be so dry, and I don't have any water in here at all. I should have went to the store while I was out, but I got some water in my bedroom. Y'all, electronics has taken over the world. And that movie, Leave Earth Behind, if you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. Because it's like our lives are a bunch of video games. And the wars over there, it's like a video game. But only thing is real, y'all. Can you imagine what would happen if World War III came with all this stuff right here? And on that note, I go with love, and I'll see you again soon.